Fighty Radio.
Welcome all to this brand new edition of 5-Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my co-host Albert Cita, decked out in Dodger blue still.
I'm under the weather, but it don't matter.
And on the line with us, joining us from the East Coast, from, is it sunny in Orlando or what is it? How is it in Orlando?
There's not a cloud in the sky. It's the Sunshine State.
It's a little muggy out here in Southern California, I guess, assume for all the Dodger fans that lost. It's very blue out here. Yeah, but Albert...
Go Cubbies, man.
Cubbies in the World Series. Indians in the World Series. We'll get a new champion. One city will no longer feel the drought anymore. So that should be fun for baseball anyways. This week's show, got a lot to talk about. Mostly the new ownership in UFC making headlines for their movement in the executive and corporate world for all the just type of changes. They made a lot of layoffs, and we'll kind of see how that affects the future of the sport and the company of the UFC and how that's going to grow and all that stuff. So when I get the timer ready, guys, fantasy football, how's it going?
I'm doing actually pretty good in all my leagues. I'm in 5 leagues. I'm towards the top end. There's only one league where I'm kind of like in the middle, but I'm doing good overall.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much batting 500. Half of them are okay, and the other half's like horrible. I don't even want to look at it.
Like horrible, whatever.
He's in last place.
All right, so I got the timer up. Let's get started for round number 1. So this past week, the UFC's new owner, WGM or WMG. I'm not too sure what exactly. I forgot. I should have brought it up, but I forgot. They made news for a lot of layoffs. International offices were cut down. I think it's about 15%, which is about like 100 jobs or so from the UFC. Right on the wall, it says they're not worried about the global expansion anymore from the UFC. It was for Fertitta and Zuffa and Dana White, the global expansion. This is going to be the most popular sport in the world. We're going to take over. We did tough Latin America, tough Asia, tough all this stuff, international versions of the tough reality show. Now the new ownership is like, no, you know what? No, we're going to scale back and focus more domestically. Even have fewer events across the globe as well. I think that even 2017 they have like 10 less events, which means like no events in Asia this year either, or the Philippines. So what's your vibe from this new ownership, and what can you guys tell what their end game is? Is it to keep business as usual? Because it's not. They're actually seems to be scaling back a little bit.
Well, if you look at it, every professional sport, I mean, they're trying to do, to globalize, but it's very difficult. I mean, look at the NBA, look at the NFL, NHL. I mean, like, when you really think about it, they make it domestically, and then the stars come to the United States. This is the only sport that's actually trying to go out. Even if you talk about soccer, where there's multiple leagues throughout the world, it's not like you have MLS ruling all over the world. You have different leagues throughout the world. So I mean, it's just difficult to me. It seems too big to have a financially, profit growth company going globally.
Yeah, you don't have MLS trying to have games in Europe, right? They kind of know we're the domestic league. Then again, you don't have the Premier League trying to come and start a league up in South America, right?
Every once in a while, you do see like them venture out to different countries. Like if you watch this week in the NFL, aren't they playing in London? The
True.
New York Giants and the LA Rams.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they try these globally, but they don't. They try one city or one country at a time or an exhibition just to test it. But I mean, like to do it continuously, I could just imagine the headaches. I can also imagine maybe not the profits they were looking for. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult to see it. So I could see why they're trying to scale back down.
Yeah. So it's WME. IMGs in the ownership. Albert, so basically I've heard 2 things from this WMG group. 1 was the layoffs, and 2, hey, we have celebrity investors here.
I think every new investor has a celebrity investor in there that they throw in there.
What's the vibe they're getting? It's kind of like weird. Well, 1, Tom Brady, Ben Affleck are behind us, so it's Conan O'Brien, and then the next week we're laying off 50% of the company.
Well, to tell you the truth, when it comes to international thing, the only thing that comes to my mind is merchandise sales. Like the reason the NBA has a couple games overseas or NFL is because they can sell merchandise to more than just the United States. You can't really sell merchandise in UFC. And I saw what Dana White was trying to do by doing the whole, Brazil versus USA and then the uniform. Because to tell you the truth, that's the only real way you're going to make sales internationally. Because if you think about it, if you have a fight in Asia, why would would you make more if you had the fight in Vegas? Give or take, it doesn't make sense. There's no real way to make more money that way. And at the same time, they're saturating their talent a lot because we only see Mousasi in Europe.
Yeah.
We only see Michael Bisping in England and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the huge difference, which I think these new ownership saw. It's like, hey, wait a second, we can build more money just staying here in the United States, building the brand, because there's nothing really to sell to the international market at this point.
Yeah.
Sure, they got the jerseys going, but I think that they established that to really sell.
Yeah, and we saw at least being spread thin. Was a couple weeks ago, BJ Penn got hurt, and the whole card in the Philippines was completely scrapped because it was paper thin. Without the main event, we have nothing.
Yeah, but if they would have had that event like in anywhere in the United States, I think it still would have sold decently as long as it wasn't like a big old arena. And then to go back to the celebrity investors, I think that's like the go-to thing now. Like when the new ownership bought the Dodgers, Michael Jackson, Magic Johnson. He has a small percentage, but yeah, he's the guy you see, right?
Yeah,
he's the face of the company, and I think that's what a lot of people see, a big upscale to that we have a face to go with the ownership, because no one wants to see a bunch of nerds in their business suits running around. So I think that's awesome, because if you look at the new soccer ones too, Will Ferrell is going to be like the face of the LAFC.
Yeah.
Drew Carey already is the face of the Sounders.
Yeah.
So I think the people understand that
John Bon Jovi owns a AFL league, arena football league.
Yeah, so. But if you really look at some of these guys, they own a very small percentage. But the fact is that they can go out there to the media.
Yeah.
They're the ones that show their pretty little faces.
Yeah.
And people, kind of link those two together.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm to wrap this up here because we're out of time. But I mean, as a fan, obviously we're in the United States. I think I kind of like it. It's going to be fewer events abroad where it's just weird start times, like in Germany.
I want quality, not quantity.
Yeah, and then honestly, I mean, the sport of MMA is going to grow. I mean, One FC Championship One FC is the biggest premier organization in Asia. You got Combate America. They're kind of taking care of Latin America and all that stuff like that. So I think these, like you said, Guillermo, have these other organizations grow and they have the best of those organizations come to the UFC, right?
Yep.
So
the way you look at it is like you don't go to China to play the best athletes. You go to the NBA.
Yeah,
right?
Yao Ming comes to NBA.
Correct. So that's kind of what they got to build. Is they got to build this great big UFC organization. Right now, the competition is Bellator or World Series of Fighting. I mean, like, you got to be the elite organization domestically first.
Yeah. So, that's it for round number one. We're going to take a small break, then come back and talk about all this, how this affects the fighters. And I think one effect here is that my boy, George St. Pierre, stuck in a contract dispute. Whoever would imagine that. So do not go anywhere. But before we leave, I want to talk about, we're talking about the UFC gear, how they're kind of geared towards like specific kind of regions. If you want some really nice gear that's tailor-made for all types of MMA fans, go check out 5 Rounds Clothing. They offer a unique collection of MMA apparel and accessories. They incorporate the culture, style, and attitude of MMA in their clothing line. They make the fighters and the fight fan look good. And you can check them out on Twitter and Instagram at 5RoundsWear. It's the number 5RoundsWear and Instagram. They make the fight fan, like I said, the fighter look good. Check out their line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.clothing. And again, follow them on Twitter, Instagram at 5RoundsWear. Instagram is at 5rounds_, and Twitter at 5rounds. Where get it on. So do not go anywhere. Come back for round number 2. All right, time for round number 2. So this story is a little sad for me. You guys have been making fun of me all week because I'm a big GSP mark, big GSP fan. He came out and said that earlier this week that he's a free agent. His contract is no longer void, or is no longer used, so it's voided. And he's a free agent. I guess a free agent, or no longer fighting for the UFC. A couple of days later, UFC said, no, he is under contract, and we tend to hold him to it. I think they said by legal actions. So I think he said that the Zuffa offer that he was offered by Zuffa was no longer on the table, and the new one that was offered against the new management is not to his liking, not to his satisfaction. He was not impressed by the contract. So what do you guys make of the situation, Guillermo?
It's a lose-lose. I mean, I think GSP needs the UFC, and the UFC needs GSP. So I think.
I mean, I don't know if GSP needs the UFC. It looks to be doing pretty good on his own, right? He's still working out, stays in shape.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you want legacy, credibility, you want to be known that you're the best in the UFC. Not, I mean, like, if he goes to Bellator, yeah, it's same thing as we've talked about in the past. Is you talking about Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler. all these Bellator stars, they're always going to have a little asterisk until they come to the UFC and fight the best of the best. Now, when you talk about Eddie Alvarez, now you're talking about one of the best lightweights of all time.
Yeah, multiple Bellator champion and UFC champion. But I mean,
well, one thing's for sure, Guillermo, is there's no way GSP has an asterisk. He was in the UFC. He did dominate the UFC. So why would there be an asterisk if he does go somewhere else?
Well, I wouldn't say there's an asterisk with him, but I mean, like at this point, it seems like.
Well, it seems it's
an aging star that wants money. I mean, like, to me, why did David Beckham come to the LA Galaxy? An example, he couldn't play in the Premier League. He couldn't play in La Liga anymore, and he was just trying to chase whatever remaining money.
Well, I mean, Guillermo, if it's about a payday for GSP, then why not just go straight to Bellator and say, hey, you know what? I want a couple. But he's not doing that. He actually come to the UFC and say, hey, I'm ready to fight. So this is a guy who still wants to fight at the highest competition available to him. But it seems to me like this whole, because he's sponsored by Under Armour. He's one of the first fighters to be sponsored by an outside, a premier outside.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I feel like that's the biggest issue is the whole Under Armour issue. I'm pretty sure if he goes to Bellator and Under Armour,
they'll deck the whole thing on Under Armour.
Yeah,
and the announcers wear Under
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of money tied up with the whole Under Armour thing.
And then that too said he wanted to fight in Toronto, but yeah, they're saying that he didn't want to fight anybody, but I think there was no fight available for him. So and then combination of that. Okay, so let's say hey, if I can't wear Under Armour, you better get me this payday better be good enough where I don't feel that loss. Because I can't wear Under Armour during the workouts. I can't wear Under Armour during the press conference. I can't wear Under Armour when I walk out, when I fight. So that's a big hit for me financially. Then you guys better compensate me back for that in terms of, the guaranteed money. And it seemed like they did not want to do that, but yet they're still he's under contract. So it seems like a big mess. But when...
You know what I don't like is that, I don't know if you guys saw some of the quotes. He was saying something about, like, it's slavery. The UFC contract is slavery.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you look at the NFL, don't they have a mandatory dress code? And some of these guys get fined like ridiculous amount of money because they have to wear what NFL approved gear.
I think the big one was a couple years ago where Kaepernick was sponsored by Beats, and so he was trying to hear his beats during the warm up.
NFL is sponsored by Bose.
Yeah, that was a big thing. I remember that.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. It's just because you're implementing change, you're implementing new policies into the UFC. That's why you get a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
I thought we were already way past this a couple years ago. When they first introduced the Reebok deal, and now we're going back to it.
I think it's gonna be I think it's a big factor no matter what. I think when it comes down to when a guy has the end of his contract and he says here, okay, well, UFC's offering me X amount, but I can go to Bellator and get X amount plus more for sponsorships. Why would you not want to go?
Well, it just shows you also the kind of the power that the UFC has, because at this point, if GSP not happy with what they're offering, he should already be like in contract negotiations with Bellator
or World Series fight. But also, I think it's kind of funny too. UFC let Rory Mack go, one of the probably Canada's second biggest MMA star. Now they're kind of treating GSP very casually, like kind of brushing him off, who is Canada's top MMA star. So this kind of could hark back to the whole international thing. Like, you know what? Well, when we go to Canada, the Canadian fight fans will still be there, type of thing. We don't need to showcase one of their own. It does help, but it's kind of said that this is new attitudes and ownership. You know what? Hey, we're the UFC, and people are going to like what we offer no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the. I think you're stereotyping a little bit about just because they're Canadian.
No, and they can't sell out the Rogers Center or where the Blue Jays play at now. But I don't know. I think it's just funny. Like this, another contract dispute. I think there's a new one every week. I think now. So, and especially with I think the Reebok deal is a big killer for the top stars, anyways. So like, why would GSP like, dude? I'm decked out in Under Armour. Why would I want Reebok stuff? I mean, personally, guys, you want Reebok or Under Armour? Come on.
To
be honest, if they had just a fighters association, then they can negotiate the deals for all the fighters, or in with the opinionated, with the fighters in thought.
Yeah.
And they can work out a deal, and then that's the deal you guys wanted. Next time we get another negotiation, then you guys can offer more, offer less, whatever. But I mean, like that way, I'm sick and tired of just hearing all this like, oh, I don't like how the contracts are at and stuff like that. Then get a voice to represent everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it for round number 2. We are going over. A lot to talk about. These new ownerships making some moves here. I just hope none of it's dirty. You know, I hope it's got it clean. We all come out clean. But if you want to come out clean in your own life, I want to talk about Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaning products. Rocking Green is an award-winning manufacturer with eco-friendly cleaning products designed to make cleaning easier and greener. Rocking Green products are the best laundry detergents and all natural cleaners because they are made with biodegradable and plant-based ingredients. They are septic and gray water safe, and they're never tested on animals. So you want that organic, nice feeling on your clothes, on your sheets, all that good stuff. Visit rockinggreen.com for more information and shop all their great line of products, and follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So we're going to take a small break, come back for round number 3, and talk about maybe Bellator. How are these new ownership changes for the UFC going to affect Bellator? Is it going to be business as usual for Mr. Coker and the guys over at Spikes who do not go anywhere? All right, welcome back. Time for round number 3. So with all the changes that WME IMG is making, or lack there, or just small changes now, with kind of like, no, we're not going to negotiate with this fighter, and we're going to lay off these people, these high execs. How should Bellator MMA react? I mean, I'm pretty sure Bellator is the second largest promotion in the United States, with I think World Series of Fighting close second. But we've seen that Bellator is willing to make moves. Should they even just kind of go with the punches here? Like whatever trickles down from the UFC will clean up, dust off, and make it better, or not even worry about the UFC's doing?
Well, you know what? It's funny because I was reading this article not too long ago, and it was Jerry the King Lawler, and he said, you know what, Scott Coker and what Bellator is doing is reminding me a lot of what Vince McMahon was doing for WWE to compete against WCW. And we saw what happened is WWE eventually won that war.
Yeah.
So he was comparing it. So I think what Scott Coker really needs to do is, if there's all these issues with the UFC change, people are I mean, you got Jose Aldo, you have GSP, potentially Chris Cyborg. All these individuals
are griping,
are up in the grabs. Can you imagine if Bellator were to grab all those stars?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're talking about a shift in power is really, really quick. So I mean,
I bet you anything Coker would have got that Ronda Rousey Chris Cyborg fight done.
And it's funny, too, you don't hear other fighters really badmouth Scott Coker too much. You see guys who are willing to go fight for him. Look at Josh Thompson left the UFC because he fought for Coker under Strikeforce and went back to him. I think even Gilbert Melendez was more than willing to drop the UFC and go back to fight for Scott Coker. So he seems like a fighter's promoter type of thing. So that's a good thing. Even though Bellator is owned by Viacom, a big corporation, but they have this guy who's kind of seems he's a complete opposite of Dana White, kind of just in the background, doesn't really hijack the press conferences. Spotlight. Yeah, like Dana White does. So maybe that kind of be he does seem to put the fighters first, where a lot of times Dana White seems to be.
Wait, you guys remember Quentin Rampage Jackson was in Bellator and he wanted to leave.
He's still there
desperately to go to the UFC, goes to the UFC, and then this whole lawsuit things. Scott Coker becomes the thing, and then Rampage is like, I don't know the guy that well, and then Bellator wins the judgment or the case, and now Rampage doesn't even seem upset. You don't see really much.
He's like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll go.
I'm getting paid while I'm just training or whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I noticed about Bellator is that we don't see a lot of fights. I mean, Phil Davis and stuff like that. Yeah, he was active maybe 4 months ago.
That's what I was going to bring out. They actually took a page out of UFC's book, and they lined up a bunch of cards, and most of them are championship bouts.
End of the year, right?
Yeah, but get this: in December they're going to go to Ireland.
Okay.
To have a card there. They have a guy in the co-main event named James Gallagher, who's 4-0, and he looks a lot like
Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah, he looks a lot like Conor. He even has a tattoo on his chest. Instead of like a monkey, he has a lion.
A gorilla, bro.
Oh, sorry. A gorilla. This guy has a lion on his chest. So you can see that they're really... they
got Conor McGregor light over there or what?
I don't know. So they might have their own Conor McGregor pretty soon.
But it's basically, I mean, obviously let the UFC do what they do, and we're gonna do what we do, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, I mean, right now I think UFC is shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And Bellator just really has to be patient and pay attention and just try to take advantage of that. Because I mean, like, can you imagine Bellator with GSP?
Yeah.
And then not to future maybe Jose Aldo to solidify some of these weight classes. I mean, come on. I mean, like, and you have Rory Mack,
Benson Henderson.
Benson Henderson. I mean, like, you have really
Bobby Lashley. Come on.
You have really good.
Just think of this. Let's say Brock Lesnar isn't under contract.
Yeah.
And Bellator can get Brock Lesnar. You gonna tell me that they won't sell pay-per-views by the millions if it's Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley?
Or even do it on free TV and get all the advertising money.
Just imagine that's easily big money right there.
One final point, we kind of make fun of Bellator for all the stuff they do, but at least it's different, right? It looks different. It sounds different. It looks different from. If I were to watch UFC, if I were a casual fan and flip back and forth between Bellator and UFC, you would see it's the same sport, but it looks different, right?
Well, remember the formula they got the UFC where it's at is the formula that Bellator is kind of taking now. The Spike deal, more about the less cards, but let's stack them in the beginning, and then eventually UFC went more cards for more, less quality, more quantity. But we're starting to see that from Bellator. So it looks like it's taking the right formula to be successful.
And they're offering a true alternative to UFC. It's the same sport, but it's just different presentation, which is kind of cool. You can't respect that. I mean, how many boxing organizations are there? It looks the same boxing ring and all that stuff. So that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break before we come back and enter the championship rounds. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our main sponsors here, Redemption Martial Arts. It's RMA Foundation is a nonprofit organization with the primary goal to bring awareness to bullying and provide people with accessible resources and training to help them combat bullying confrontations. The team RMA consists of individuals in all walks of life who share a common passion and making a difference serving anti-bullying activists, all of whom have been affected by bullying or at one point were bullies themselves. If you're interested in becoming a member of Team RMA or want more information, please visit redemptionmartialarts.com and follow them on all the social media platforms. This is a great cause that we've been behind for a long time now. It's a great team. So if you want information, again, go to redemptionmartialarts.com and rise up against bullying. Do not go anywhere. Come back and enter the championship rounds. Welcome back. Time to enter the championship rounds. So let's get started here with, we had a small break here. Came back, breathe the fresh air. How about the breath of fresh air in Gegard Mousasi, guys? The new Gegard Mousasi.
Loving Gegard
trash
Mousasi.
Talking, taking all the challengers. Not holding back his tongue anymore. I think he after he called out Conor McGregor at his post-fight press conference at UFC, 206? I forgot whatever the last one was when Michael Bisping defeated Dan Henderson. He
204.
Said, 204, yeah. And he said that people are dumb because they just want to look at all the rich stuff that Conor McGregor has on Instagram. He's popular. He's not that good of a fighter. And then I think a week later he said, yeah, Conor McGregor threatened him with a knife in the Twitter DM. So he's like, man, screw him, whatever. Just keep it straightforward, man. I like it. And also a rumor matchup between him and Uriah Hall now. UFC Fight Night 99 coming up. A rematch. This is coming from Albert, which he said Michael Bisping was talking crap about Mousasi. Oh, don't talk to me, son. You have a loss against Uriah Hall on your record. And then, all right, Mousasi's okay. All right, let's roll it back again then. Let's do it again with Uriah Hall. So
I just like his attitude. Like even that. Like let's say he goes back. He destroys Uriah Hall. Man, how awesome is that? And then he's gonna tell Michael Bisping, now what? Who do you want him to be now?
So, Guillermo, you like the new Uriah Hall? He did kind of clear up some things with Conor. He's like, English is like my fifth language. Some stuff doesn't come out the way I want it to come out because my English is my fifth language or third language, whatever. But do you know Mousasi? This is a guy you like, right? This is a guy who can talk and he can back it up.
No, right now it's just talk. He needs to walk.
Come on, bro.
What makes Conor McGregor's smack talk still awesome is that he can back it up. Until he got that loss against Nate Diaz, he has really done everything he said he was going to do. Mm-hmm. Compared to Mousasi, we have some losses, and now we have a change of character all of a sudden. I need to see more. I like the the smack talk, but I gotta see it out in the cage. I mean, like until he becomes champion.
See what the TKO he did on Vitor, the TKO he did on Dan Henderson, the knockout he did on Santos,
and then he had the TKO himself from Uriah Hall.
Yeah,
early stoppage, bro.
Well, this could
that
be
was
like,
early stoppage.
This could be the change of new things, right? Because like obviously this guy, he's been a sleeper in the middleweight division for such a long time. I think he's fallen like once or twice on American soil. Other than that, it's always been in Europe. This is a guy who hardcore fight fans know him, know his pedigree, but I think if he were to become a UFC champion, he would overtake Alistair Overeem as the most decorated mixed martial artist of all time, right? Because wherever this guy's gone, he's had gold around his waist, and for him to now to be kind of like, okay, you know what, I'm sick of all this stuff. Apparently, to get attention in the UFC, you need a smack talk, or maybe this is all inside of him already. He's like, you know what, this character has been inside of me. I'm just so sick of it. I'm trying to be polite here. I'm trying to be a martial artist, but when I'm fighting, was it greased up Machida? He basically said, screw that guy, and like, talking about, I like Michael Bisping, but like, what is he? I'll jab him all day. So this is kind of funny, man. This is kind of like this weird kind of smack talk where it's not as blunt and as comical as Conor McGregor, even though that's super entertaining. This is kind of a guy who's like, you know what, man, I'm gonna talk, and then I'm talking also inside the octagon.
And it's the right approach too, because in this middleweight division, I mean, like, you have some top dogs.
Yeah.
And to even get mentioned in that bracket of individuals, he has to really become the superstar, because you're talking about that middleweight division. Everybody there that's top 5 is a legit superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about Chris Weidman. Superstar. I mean, like
Luke Rockhold, Demi Lovato. Come on, guys.
Luke Rockhold could technically be in any freaking action movie if he wanted to.
Come on, he's dating Demi Lovato. Come on, Guillermo.
Give him some credit.
So I mean, for what's the name? Gegard Mousasi is a good thing. From what rumor has it that Michael Bisping versus Chris Weidman's in the works. Nothing's like really legit or anything like that. But that's the rumors, because I guess Michael Bisping wants an easy fight next again, and he said Chris Weidman would be like the easiest match.
Dude, Chris Weidman would take him down and leave him there.
Well, see, also too, again, like you said, by Guillermo approach, this is a right approach also with the current champion right now. Michael Bisping, love him or hate him, he has a gift of gab. He can talk crap with the best of them, and obviously, if you want to keep up, and if you want to keep up with him, you better start talking some smack, because
I'm gonna tell you right now, I have never bought a UFC shirt or whatever. I'm gonna start buying my Gegard Mousasi gear. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go look up.
You're gonna be disappointed, dude.
No, I'm not, bro.
But because like I think, like you said, like a division takes the personality of its champion, right? Look how much smack talk has gone on in the lightweight division now against Conor McGregor, who's not even the champion there. But you know what I mean? Even the featherweight division, it started to form itself to the champion. Look at the heavyweight champion. Nobody talks crap at all, so nobody talks crap at all in that division. You know what I mean? You have a quiet champion, Stipe. The rest of the division is really quiet. Middleweight champion. Now we have Michael Bisping talking crap. Everybody's talking crap now. You had the welterweight champion, Robbie Lawler, didn't really say anything. Did all talk in the ring. Nobody's talking crap at all. So now I think the challengers, mold after the champion. And with Michael Bisping as champion, you got to learn how to talk, man. You have to be good on the mic. You have to be a killer on the mic and in the octagon, I think.
Yeah.
So that's it for round number 4. We're going to take a small break and close this show off with UFC 207, which is kind of hyping up to be one of the best cards of the year, with Ronda Rousey and maybe a Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz, and also Verdum versus Velasquez rematch. But before we do that, you know how we get all these information, all these fight happenings going on. You want credible news sources here for the world of mixed martial arts? You go to FightBookMMA.com. FightBookMMA.com is the only place where you can find the real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, and boxing, from local promotions like the UFC to Golden Boy to Bellator to the smaller ones like Lion Fight and all the good stuff like RFA, Legacy. And also, they have a great podcast section page. Well, you get a whole collection of MMA podcasts. So we're under there, under the podcast page. So please visit FightBookMMA.com and follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about UFC 207 when we return from this short break. All right, welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. UFC 207 is slated to take place December 30th, 2016 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Main evented by none other than the returning Ronda Rousey as she challenges current women's bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes. Gamma, what are you laughing for?
Because Ronda Rousey, I'm over her, dude. She shouldn't even be in this.
It should be an easy win, though.
We were off last week, so we were getting really struck where the iron was hot about the Ronda Rousey announcement. A lot of people are heated about that, are hot about that. She walks in over coming off a knockout loss and over a year layoff and automatically gets a title shot. But at least Dana White, he's been consistent saying whenever she returns, she's getting a shot at the title, whoever the champion may be. So, I mean, at least he kept his word, but whether that word is whatever. But anyway, so, but actually talking about 207 has started to take place now with a rumored matchup between bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz and his bitter rival at now, Cody Garbrandt, and also Cain Velasquez versus Fabricio Verdum in a title elimination bout. Also on the card, rumored to be Johnny Hendricks versus Neil Magny, Tim Means versus Alex Oliveira, Mike Powell versus Alex Garcia. So just the top three: Rousey, Nunes.
Well, before we get to the top three, I mean, it's funny. I saw something that what's his name, Johnny Hendricks says if he loses to Neil Magny, he doesn't even deserve to be a professional fighter.
Oh my god!
Oh
wow! So the top three: Rousey versus Nunes, Verdum versus Velasquez, and Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz, rumored to be beat. This card is actually good year to end the New Year's, right, Albert?
Yeah, it's looking pretty stacked right now. Just by adding Cain Velasquez alone was already adding the stackness. The only thing I'm a little bit bitter about is I wanted to see someone tough at 185. 170 fight Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
I mean Alex Oliveira, the other cowboy.
Yeah.
Especially after he was so disrespectful in his last fight, but they get him 10 means. I don't think that was the firepower I had in mind for him.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping he got maybe a tougher 170, or just so he can learn not to be so disrespectful.
Yeah, but again, the selling point on this is Nunes versus Rousey. But I think they did a good job with the support cast in the bantamweight title and the heavyweight picture, right?
I think so. I think anytime you want to add some more legit stars, I think anytime you introduce a title fight, I think that's already like bringing elevated level. I mean, like especially a talented fighter as Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, especially I mean, the casual fan is going to come back and want to see Ronda Rousey return. Obviously, Amanda Nunes is not well known outside the pop culture circle, so you want to bring these stars in against Velasquez, who's a star, and in the United States, and Verdum was a big star. And
technically, you don't need all that. I mean, like just with Ronda Rousey, I think you would get that. I mean, I forget, who was on the card for Australia when she lost to Holly Holm.
Yeah.
But I believe, the whole hype was around Ronda Rousey.
True, and obviously this will be that. But Cody No Love, actually, of all the bantamweights, I think again he is on a win streak, right? Deserving. But I think his
not just a win streak. I mean, he's finishing all his opponents.
But I think his smack talk got him this title shot, right? Rumored if it does happen.
I mean, his win streak has nothing to do with this title shot. It has zero to do with it. Because if you're talking about a legit streak, TJ Dillashaw has a legit streak going on. Take away his loss to Dominic Cruz, he's beaten everybody recently. So to me, it's not about the streak; it's about the actual smack talk behind it.
Yeah, and let's keep it real. TJ Dillashaw is boring. The guy can't cut a promo for if his life depended on it.
But the guy can fight. I love watching TJ.
You like watching TJ Dillashaw fight? Did you just say that? Did you just really say that? You like watching TJ Dillashaw fight?
I like watching his footwork. I love watching his, striking.
Hey, go watch Dancing with the Stars, Guillermo, if you want to see good footwork.
I'm just saying, you like his footwork.
You know that footwork is such skills. I mean, you talk about any
Get out
sport.
of here.
It's also footwork
any sport.
It's also footwork that he got. It's also footwork that he got from Dominic Cruz, by the way.
If I want to go watch Sambo or what's that Brazilian thing where they just jump around?
Capoeira.
Is that what you're talking about? You're gonna go watch Capoeira.
The art of dance fighting.
You talk about the NFL. You talk about the elite quarterback. They have great footwork. You talk about soccer players. What makes Messi so great? Cristiano. Great footwork.
They also score vicious goals. TJ Dillashaw scores nothing.
Knockouts against Henry Barral.
Please, bro. That's like 5 years ago.
Well, Cody is only 10-0. He's 10-0.
How many knockouts though? How many?
Like 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually 9.
9 out of 10, bro. That's exciting.
Yeah, but it was his smack talk that got on the title shot, which is kind of cool. I mean, like I said, Dominic Cruz, he doesn't really engage in it. He kind of like when he talks crap, it's kind of like at a technical level, and then he'll jab at you personally. Not really personal. It's always about technical. He's like, this guy's skill level isn't not on par with me. But it's got a different type of smack talk. It's all about like the technical stuff like Donner Crew, which is kind of cool actually. It's a little different. He does smack talk with bets, so he'll smack talk you like, wait a minute, did he just insult me? Oh wait, he did just insult me. So it should be fun. UFC 207, late December, last card of 2016. Should be a lot of fun. The return of Ronda Rousey championship bout, that should be kind of fun to watch. So another one to look forward to, gentlemen. That's it for today's show. I want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVE. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. A big thank you to everybody, all of our sponsors. Without them, the show would not be possible. Five-Book MMA, RMA, and Rock and Green, and 5 Rounds Clothing Line. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll see who watches Hell in a Cell.
We have 1 week, so. Guillermo, you there? No, he's gone. All right. Take it easy, everybody.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.